What's up, AfterBuzz TV fans? Tonight is the night, the only night every year where AfterBuzz TV gets extreme. We are here talking about WWE Extreme Rules. Stick with us.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AfterBuzz TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Yes. Is that... Oh, look, we got music. We're doing this. Is that how you pound your chest, Scott Narver?
Yeah. It's a slow... I don't want to hurt my chest.
Dude.
That was incredible.
At WrestleMania 31.
What's happening right now is
It's like
incredible.
Seth Rollins.
At WrestleMania 31 when he came out, I did that all crazy.
I did that too. I did that too.
Did you then take someone's replica belt and swing it around?
He did. I was there.
Oh.
Well, then we'll get it together. Hey, everybody. Thank you for joining us here. I'm your host, Steve Kaufmann. You can find me on Twitter at Steve Kaufmann. That is Kaufmann. But I'm not alone to talk about WWE Extreme Rules 2016. Joining my left, King Scott Narver.
I think you're the only one that remembers that.
Maybe. You've outlasted... Your reign as king has outlasted the man who became king at the exact same time in WWE.
That's right. I have not asked for my release from AfterBuzz TV, nor will I. So I will remain king. And as long as WWE doesn't remember about King of the Ring, I will stay king.
Great. Where can they find you on Twitter?
They can find me on Twitter at Curtain Jerks.
And to his left,
That's me.
he's an engineer here. Also, you can find him on the Lucha Underground panel.
Oh, yeah.
Mr. James Franck.
Hi, how are you? You can find me on Twitter at TheJimboSlice. That's TheeJimboSlice. That's at TheJimboSlice with 2 E's. That's at TheJimboSlice.
Great.
Yeah, see?
And we're good. All right.
Let's do
That
this.
was a fun show. No, I'm out. Extreme Rules. What do we... First thoughts.
And we got the man in the booth.
Oh,
Oh.
so sorry. Man in the booth. Mr. Mark
He's now going to be known
among
as,
ones and
as
twos.
Money in the Bank.
They call me Dollars for short.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That happened
did-
while
I-
we were waiting for you guys.
They called him Dallas for short.
Yeah. Mr. Money in the Bank. Mark Donovan.
I'm gonna get that briefcase, yo.
Yeah.
We
for sure.
we were all at that WWE shop at one point and have held it in our hands and like, I could buy this.
I'm all about that lunchbox game, though.
Ooh,
Yeah.
that lunchbox was only like $20.
Yeah.
And then they were gone by the next day. You could have flipped them for like 40. Anyway, that's into the weird minds of Steve Kaufmann.
But I digress.
Spend thousands of dollars to go out there and then make $20. That's the way to do it, gang.
Score.
Why not?
So what do we think of this show?
It was good.
Yeah, it was pretty good. I was pleasantly surprised overall.
Yeah, me too. Thank you for giving me so much.
My favorite match was definitely the 4-way.
Oh yeah.
Mine too.
Yeah, that was match of the night.
That was definitely.
I think the Asylum match went a little too long, and the 4-way was definitely the best match.
I can agree with that. I also enjoy. This is the second Roman Reigns AJ Styles match, and I've enjoyed both of them.
They are great. They do amazing things that push themselves and expectations of everyone. And as much as people hate Reigns, man, that guy can go with AJ. Like,
Yeah.
that cannot be
Yeah.
denied.
Like, I mean,
Fellow NXT host Bill Hanstock mentioned that this could be one of, if AJ could stay as Reigns' opponent for a little while, it could be an iconic feud that could live on, and I totally agree.
yes.
Yeah.
And I think they haven't been fanning the club fame or the club flame for too long, that we can still very much get a lot more out of these two. Because I doubt it'll just, with the way it ended, I doubt we're just going to get them again. Because Seth Rollins is now involved. So that we can come back to this, and it'll still be pretty fresh to us. Let's jump right in. Did you guys saw the pre-show?
Yes.
I saw parts of it.
I love the Dudley Boys coming out, and like, if you're the Dudley Boys and you're in Newark, New Jersey, you really have to work for that heat.
It's true. Yeah. There's built-in love. It's like booing Flair in Flair country.
You have to really work at it. Like, you have to come out and like really say terrible things, and the Dudley Boys said that, which is just ECW went into the toilet the second we left. And let's boo us. Colin Cassidy, Big Cass, as he's known now, because you lose your last
How you
name
doing?
once you enter the main roster. He
Some
comes
people.
out.
Not all people, but just some people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, because the dig was that in the toilet. That's where these new era people are going once they're here.
In the toilet?
And the crapper in the toilet. That's a paraphrase of what was said
Who's
by the
saying
Dudley
that?
Boys.
Is that Shane McMahon?
Who's the Dudley
Is
Boys?
he saying that on Twitter? Oh, okay.
The Dudley Boys said that.
Yes.
Big Cass comes out, dropping heat about getting the tables instead of like don't get the tables. Of course you're not going to get the tables because you ate everything on the tables. Classic fact joke.
Yeah.
A lot of fun. Then they beat him down. He fights back. It's about what we expected from this segment. I personally feel like they should be moving forward with Big Cass as a single.
Like,
Whoa.
I think he should be in the Money in the Bank ladder
I was
match.
just gonna ask that, like putting the Money in the Bank.
Yep.
Okay.
Strong
What are your
words.
thoughts on that?
What about Enzo? What if he gets well by then? What if his brain heals?
Then he works double duty. No, then if Enzo's ready by then, I think then obviously he has to go back to that act. But I think with him interrupting Jericho, with him working on a pretty high level with the Dudley Boys right now, Big Cass is in a place that if he strings some wins together starting tomorrow night, he could actually very much be just a reputable singles competitor. That if he's inches away from the Money in the Bank briefcase, that's the equivalent to like number one.
7 feet tall. That's why
He has
doesn't
the.
even need the ladder.
That's good
But that
stuff.
would make him an equivalency to the Intercontinental Championship, which I think would be a good move for him. We're gonna get into the first match though. A fellow NXT call-up, a new era superstar, Baron Corbin went up against Dolph Ziggler in a no disqualification match. This match went 7 minutes 7 seconds, and ended in one no DQ-esque move, which was a low blow by Baron Corbin, defeating Dolph Ziggler. How did we feel about this? Like a no DQ match, but it only being one.
Yeah.
Being one spot. Because I have an opinion on it that seemed out of the blue for everyone else.
I expected weapons. No weapons. At all.
No, they had to save that for the main event.
That was my theory.
I guess you're right.
And the Desylum match.
Because my theory on this was to make it a no DQ match, but then have them like throw a bunch of like toys in, essentially, because like the boys call them toys. But like to throw in all these weapons and crazy stuff would just take away from the rest of the night. Whereas if it's a no DQ match, let it just be, no, I'm just gonna hit you. I'm just gonna give you a really good low blow once, and that's all I need.
Just a Rochambeau match is what they should have had.
Oh man, dangerous.
Well, that's where it degrades. It's where it could always degrade if there's no rules.
That's what I'm saying. Just one, boom, and then the other one, boom, and then whoever goes down. It's like a last man standing
I was
match.
just gonna say that's more of a last man standing.
That's pretty much that's a more realistic strategy on the last man standing match.
I think my favorite thing in this entire match was when Ziggler hit the Stinger Splash and Mauro Ranallo was like, Stinger Splash!
Yes.
I was like, yes! That was so great.
I forget who it was on Twitter today, but somebody on Twitter today tweeted directly at Waze and was like, can we get a Mario Rinaldi voice for Waze?
No.
Oh, that'd be great.
That would be so great.
Turn left at the light.
That would be perfect.
Yeah, I mean, when he gets on the main pay-per-views and starts doing these shows, that's gonna be awesome. Like it's fun now, but when Morrow gets on there and we're talking about these shows, it's gonna be exceptional.
Yeah. Great Deep Six and a great End of Days.
Yep.
Yeah. Ziggler sells amazing.
Ziggler does sell. Actually, he is a little known fact. He once sold Coke to CM Punk.
Wow.
I went there.
He doesn't even
And
take
you
his
can-
shirt off tonight.
And you can just take it you can take that sentence however you want to take it, whether it was cocaine or Coca-Cola. He sold it to CM Punk.
Sold him new Coke.
Ooh.
It's terrible.
Clever girl.
Crystal
Clever
Clear
girl.
Pepsi.
Yeah, I'll buy that. That stuff's good.
So
I'll buy that for $1.
we got Rusev and Lana in the social media lounge. That was a lot of fun. And then the main card started with the club, which is Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows, versus the Usos, which is Jimmy and Jay Uso. We are not calling them the Bullet Club. We're not like dancing around the fact that we're the Bullet Club, but we're calling them the club.
They're not the Balor Club. They're not the Bullet Club. Just the club.
Yeah. They're like the He-Man woman haters.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
They're just the club that shall not be named, if you will. Nope. Okay. That one died a hard death, and I'll take it. But this one's a tornado tag team match, which I was talking with a friend at a bar about this. When he asked me, what's the difference between a no disqualification tag team match and a tornado tag team match, or a Texas tornado tag team match? And I was like, nothing. Because if it's an Extreme Rules tag team match, at least the fall could happen outside. But anything where the fall happens inside and there are no rules, therefore meaning they're not tagging, it's all kind of the same match. Not to discount the gimmick to the match, because I thought this was a wonderful match, but it was just something I had to point out.
Well, now you ruined it for me.
Sorry.
Now I hate it. I thought about it too much.
I mean, there wasn't much to think about. That like this was a pretty much a 4 men in the ring at one time version of what we've seen for the past 2 weeks on Raw, where it's the club versus the Usos. A lot of high flying, a lot of
tag moves, which was cool.
yeah, like a lot of.
They hit a nasty, what do they call that? The
Boot of
Doom?
Yeah,
off
that
the
was
ring
so
apron,
nasty.
and then
Pretty early
flapjacked
on.
him into the barricade.
And like
I was
really
oh.
early on in the match, they hit this boot of doom, which but it was on the outside, which was important and impressive to do. But the club goes over the Usos. This didn't shock any of us on the predictions championship side. Everyone had the club going over here. This
Even
match
the champ?
went-
Even the champ?
No, even the champ, George Formosa, who is currently watching The Cure, I think.
I loved
This car.
Gallows hit a slam, Usos hit Samoan drop, Anderson hits Spinebuster. That was a cool little sequence. And then I loved when they were like fighting on the outside. It's like, oh, there's Sam Roberts, and then Sam Roberts like stands up and like leans on the barracade.
I've seen a little. There were
like,
a couple.
oh, there
there were
he
a
is.
couple shots of Sam Roberts. Like none of them. He knew he was on camera. Like every time I saw Sam Roberts tonight, he was like reacting to something else, and they were like, "Oh, go get that." He's just nerding out in the front row.
Boo the bad guys.
You gotta be the bad guys.
They're bad.
Up next, we have a singles match for the WWE United States Championship. Rusev versus Kalisto. This match
I loved it.
I love this match too.
So good.
It was pretty crazy.
This match ran 9 minutes, 31 seconds. Rusev, who is with Lana. Lana comes out, introduces Rusev herself. Love everything about this.
She looks better with her hair up than down, though.
Okay.
For sure.
We'll
Definitely feeling it up.
we'll
How long
discuss
did
this.
you think about this?
For like a couple seconds, when my buddy was like, "Doesn't she look better with her hair up?" And I was like, "Yeah, I think you're right." What?
More to come on that and the Extreme Rules fashion after show.
Where's Christy when I need
We do
her?
that Mondays at 5.
It's a good show.
It's we really get into it. But right now we're talking about the
That's the
wrestling.
real up, up, down, down.
But I really enjoyed this, and us knowing when John Cena's comes back, and that announcement coinciding with Rusev essentially coming from the woodwork, from a stable that's otherwise not on the card, kind of made it clear that like, oh, so we're playing the hits. We're gonna have Rusev beat Kalisto, and then Rusev's gonna come back. Rusev's gonna come back as United States champion. He's gonna look like a monster. John Cena's gonna come in and slay that monster.
He did look like a monster.
But he did
match.
though, and I
It was
love
so great.
And I love that. Granted, you can't do this with everyone, but with Kalisto, he sold that camel clutch all the way up.
Definitely.
And like I know Cena can't do that, but there are a lot of guys that can do that, and they probably will from now on.
That was almost like a camel clutch surfboard.
Yes.
Oh yeah. Or like when Tajiri used to bend guys back from like the surfboard roll and catch him in the dragon sleeper.
Oh, man.
God, he had him bent back. I loved when Rusev throws a kick and it just goes right over Kalisto's head, and then Kalisto tries to do his like corkscrew headbutt, and Rusev just like Polish hammer, just like double axe handled right him. Oh, just like knocked him right out of the air. I was like, oh, that looked brutal. But then Kalisto got in the hits. He hit a nice spike Rana, a couple nice DDTs. It was great.
Yeah. Our thoughts on what to do with Kalisto after this match?
It's a bummer because I would have liked to have seen the tail end of Cena on SmackDown when they moved to USA was he was endorsing Kalisto.
Yeah.
And I feel like now we're just not going to see anything between them at all. And yeah, Cena and Rusev was cool, but it would have been nice to have seen the challenger, him acknowledge like, I want that belt back.
Yeah.
So it sucks to see that miss, but I don't know. I hope Kalisto's not lost in the shuffle of all this now, but I think he could go back to tag stuff. I think him and if there's an in-between program with him and Sin Cara versus the club, I think that'd be pretty cool.
That would be cool. I think
I like to see him as a single guy.
I think he's one of those guys who would lend a lot of credibility to the Money in the Bank ladder match.
Yeah.
Because if you look at the guys left for that match, they'd be a lot of really bigger guys. Bigger, not highest flying guys, so he'd definitely have a spot in that match. But I do think it's kind of frustrating that we don't.
He'd have a spot in that match because he does crazy like high flying spots.
Yeah,
That's
he
the
did
kind
a
of
lot
spot.
of crazy high flying spots like that, swinging drop kick, Rana into the steps, and then that step up moonsault to the outside, both jaw dropping.
Yeah.
Just like, oh
I
man,
I like watching him a lot in the ring.
He's so good.
Great. He's very good. If we get a him and Sin Cara breakup, I'm down with that too.
Why do you want friends to break up with each other? Why are you okay with that?
I honestly feel like Sin Cara is holding Kalisto back.
Yeah, all of the matches these past couple of weeks where Sin Cara's been out there, totally holding him back.
Totally holding back. Ha.
So we need a new Sin Cara again. We need a reboot. Somebody else goes in there now.
We need the
El
third,
Torito.
La Sombra.
the third Sin Cara. This match went 9 minutes 31
It's a new
seconds.
Doink.
Sin Cara 13.
People are pointing out by this point that in the Extreme Rules pay-per-view, you get a tornado tag team match, a singles match,
Extreme.
a tag team match,
Extreme.
a fatal 4-way match.
That's extreme because there's fatalities involved.
That's actually a very fair point.
Mm-hmm.
But we're on to the tag team match. New Day comes out. Big E and Xavier Woods are tagging, which is not who I thought would tag. I thought it would be Big E and Kofi.
It was a nice change up though.
Yeah, because usually they don't usually
Woods.
Xavier doesn't tag. Xavier plays the
The hype
trombone.
man, yeah.
Yeah, like he's just a good hype man. So it's good to see him actually out there.
You shoot the shot.
Yeah, and he's with the Vaudevillains, which are Aiden English and Simon Gotch. I enjoyed this match. I really enjoy the Vaudevillains, and I felt on paper heading into this match, there was no reason for the Vaudevillains to not win.
They're not a better team. The champions won. That's why.
That's fair, but
This guy.
but you know what I mean. That what do we do with them now? Whereas had they won, the New Day wouldn't really lose anything. They'd come out tomorrow and say booty, and everybody would still love them.
They would have lost the tag team champions, man. They're great. They're the hottest act. Like, I don't think the Vaudevillains lose anything truly from this.
Mm-hmm.
If they're just as good as they want to be, then they got to keep going and step it up and stay relevant. Like they gotta bring it. Just by coming in the first month and then winning the titles doesn't always work for them. Like if they win it right away, then what?
And they still have unfinished business with Enzo and Cass.
Yes,
Definitely.
And I think had they had that match last month with Enzo and Kaz, I wouldn't feel this way, because then they would have established themselves in that tournament, in that match. But now tomorrow, if they don't come out and like win and stay relevant, they might get lost in the shuffle, and I don't want that because they're a great act. They're a great act, and I'm happy they're around, and I'm happy that they made it to the tag team championships on their first way up. And I think it's really funny we talk about relevance with a team that pretends to be the 1920s. I couldn't not point that out.
Woods hit a great Hadouken.
Yep.
And an amazing Shining Wizard in this match. And Aiden English did this really cool like DDT, but instead of falling like on his butt or on his back, he fell flat like when Christian used to do the reverse DDT.
Yeah,
He
front
falls
falling
flat.
Yes.
DDT.
Oh, it was great. I was like, oh, those were all really cool.
Yeah, that was great. New Day over.
I got scared though. I really, because I'm rooting for New Day, and I was like, oh no, they are gonna lose. So I totally bought into it, and I was hooked into this match.
Yeah, when they kicked out of the Whirling Dervish, I was like, oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of O's.
This match was 6 minutes 20 seconds. Looks like it was the shortest match of the night. That said, it was everything we wanted though.
Mm-hmm.
Up next, this match went 18 minutes 18 seconds. It was The Miz, Cesaro, Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, the Fatal 4-Way match for the Intercontinental Championship. Likely the match of the night.
Definitely the match of the night.
Yeah, that was great.
And
No questions.
I've been talking a lot to folks about the Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn of it all. And like, because you were mentioning earlier, Scott, that like there are people on Twitter who are like really like, why do we keep seeing Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn? Like it's been happening for 10 years. Like that's not new. And like you have to explain to them that it's like, yeah, but it's happened like 3 times in the last 2 years as their names.
And it's on a bigger platform.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, if you saw it before, great. Now you're seeing it refined and on a bigger stage for everybody to enjoy. So it's that much bigger and better for everyone.
It's just like Zayn and Cesaro when they had that match in NXT and everyone was blown away and it got match of the year. And it's like, yeah, they'd been doing that in PWG and other feds for years before this. But now, like you said, it's on a main stage and everyone can see, oh man, these guys are excellent.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I think what's great about this is you don't want to just keep coming back to it every week, every month. I think next month at Money in the Bank, obviously it'll be Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn in the Money in the Bank match across from each other. So once again, they don't get to face off, and we get to keep them away till SummerSlam.
Yeah.
Then after SummerSlam, you don't see it again, maybe Mania.
Yeah, I think anyone who lost in this match will be in the Money in the Bank ladder match. All 3 of them,
Yeah,
for sure.
possibly all 4 of them, because that's not impossible.
Man, that's
I don't
always
think
a
the
bummer.
IC champ will be in the Money in the Bank match, though.
Yeah, that's always got to stop happening. Like, you've got that prestigious singles title. You're good. Out. Somebody else in.
I
I would
agree.
like to see Miz and Zack Ryder fight for the IC title.
Me too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm hoping that happens at SummerSlam.
Zack Ryder never had his rematch.
no.
Yeah, he got a match to be a contender for, to be in that 4-way, but that was it.
That was completely it. Also,
The
this
T,
match.
the T is for Cesaro and Zayn at the top with the strikes taking out the other 2 guys was just fun. Pure
Yes.
fun
Yeah.
That was
and
great.
beyond exciting for what those 2 can do again on the main roster.
And Cesaro's face, that first the kick, like, oh, well, this is different.
The whole thing that like Zayn just takes out Owens up top, where it's just like I'm not here for him.
Yeah, I like it when they throw off the timing and expectancy of what you come to know from a match, and then it just throws you off. And you're like, all right, now I don't know what's happening now, so just excited again as a fan.
I love before the match even starts, like Miz is coming down the aisle, and then Zayn's looking on, and Owens is looking on, and Cesaro's doing push-ups.
Of course.
It's like, gotta get a swole on.
No, I loved even more than that. Kevin Owens looking on as Cesaro comes out going, "This guy," would have been amazing.
Cesaro's kip-ups.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Oh
those,
man.
so good.
How many can you do?
I can't do. I could probably do one. At
That's
least
good.
one. It's like a pull-up. You know, you gotta be able to at least do one.
Oh no, you can't.
Yeah,
I
could
mean,
definitely
meaning
do
me,
one.
I can't.
No,
Okay.
you don't have to do pull-ups. You're tall.
That's what I should have said to my gym coach.
That would have made sense. But
think-
the Miz goes over here. Sorry.
Oh, I think my favorite parts in this match were like all the guys like interacting together to do moves, like the double suplex powerbomb, and then like that crazy German suplex exploder or like Taz
Yeah.
captureplex German suplex thing that Zayn, Miz, and Cesaro did. I was just like, oh, it's so good.
Yeah. And the Miz goes over. Some of us thought
Sneakily.
Some of us thought it was going to be Cesaro. Some of us thought it was time to put that jetpack on Cesaro, send him to push him to the moon.
Just because he hasn't won the IC belt, and I think like he deserves it for sure.
I thought it was going to be Zayn. I thought that was going to escalate between Owens and Zayn, that it was going to be he got the title, that Owens didn't lose to anyone specifically. He lost it in a ladder match, and then he's now got it and flaunting it in his face. Like, just escalating that feud even more, that now he wants to fight him for it.
That would be good. I
So
would enjoy that.
And I liked the story of the haluva kick came back around and paid off with the ending. It was
Yes.
amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, my fiance, we're all watching this match, and she's like, "Oh, this is a really good match." I put my knitting down. She was
Whoa.
like knitting
That is-
during the pay-per-view. I was like, "Oh, wow, this
That is
really was
a
good
mark of
match."
true excellence in a match.
that's serious business.
Yeah,
She put
Knitting
your-
goes down.
knitting
goes down.
on the floor.
Look out for those
it's
needles.
Extreme Rules. Yeah,
That's like the asylum match. If you're not careful, those needles are there.
he should have been hanging.
Needles should have been hanging. Speaking of the asylum match.
The asylum match. Look at that graphic again. The asylum match.
The
Is that
asylum
what it
ma- I'm-
said?
Because it's got the Dean Ambrose D.
Okay,
and the A,
so a Dasylum
A
match.
Dasylum match.
I'll take that.
A tag team asylum match.
Right on it. That button just there.
I think Mark Donica's finger is always on the Teddy Long button, just in case.
Yeah.
The
The
asylum
references
match.
to Perry Saturn. For
Yes, Moppy.
Shout out to Moppy.
At one point there was a chant for "We want more," or "We want Moppy," but we had already gotten Moppy, so I think they wanted more Moppy. This match went 26 minutes 21 seconds.
Too long.
That's the longest match of the night.
It's hard to complain about the length of a match when we ended up getting thumbtacks
Yes.
and blood
Oh no, we're not.
and a WWE and a PG WWE.
From the thumbtacks, you mean?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
I
I
mean,
was like, I don't remember.
What
anyone
match did
doing
I
it.
watch?
I think this was their response to the no holds barred match between Ambrose and Lesnar, where we got chair pile, chainsaw tees, and
Yeah.
Barbie tees with no real payoff.
yeah.
That I agree that
And it
was
felt
at
like
least
it.
at least we're gonna introduce weapons and use them.
Yeah, it felt like it for a second. They weren't using that the barbed wire 2x4, and it seemed like it was getting towards the end of the match. And then the thumbtacks were there. It's like, are they really going to do this again? That we're not going to get
Yeah.
a payoff with these things? And I didn't think it'd be Jericho going through it at all.
No.
Especially with no shirt.
Oh yeah.
I thought it would have been hilarious because Jericho comes out with jeans and then like knee pads over jeans, like classic like Street Fighter attire. I was like, if Ambrose comes out in gear, that would just be amazing.
That would be awesome.
He's got like a singlet or trunks, but just like his wrists are taped. I was like, that would have been so awesome. But no.
Or that he
looks
comes
like
out in
normal.
jeans like he normally does, but then takes the jeans off to reveal a singlet.
Or the Cesaro ripoff thing. He's like, borrowed your suit, man.
Yeah, that was crazy for Jericho to do that. I mean, that's I'm sure some sort of badge of honor amongst wrestlers like that you did that, and that's hardcore. That is flat out hardcore, and did not expect Jericho to do that. Didn't need to do that, and he did. So that's badass.
And it wasn't like a weak type, like, oh, well, we're gonna like kind of fall in the thumbtacks.
No, if you're
he
gonna-
was just like, I'm gonna go for the code breaker, and you're just gonna drop me in these thumbtacks. And then like the worst is like them in the hand.
Oh man,
Yeah,
that
like-
just has to be so painful.
Because like your back is a pretty big meaty part of your body that it'll probably take the thumbtacks with a shot of the shot of adrenaline you'll get just flying into them. You probably won't feel that in your back, your elbows, and your arms.
yeah,
Oh,
I was thinking
his
in the
elbows. And then they
I
cut
was
to
like, that's
Ambrose,
gotta
and he's
suck.
got that one in there. And he's going,
That-
ooh.
That made me go like, that would be uncomfortable.
And then you see Jericho's, and it's an elbow pad of thumbtacks, and you go,
man.
"Oh, Ambrose, you're fine."
I gotta
Dangerous.
get that tattoo touched up.
But what I honestly feel like is I feel like that one would probably hurt more than those 20. Because that one is just one, whereas those 20, it's like, oh, nope, this just hurts.
I think they used the weapons in a lot of cool ways.
Yeah.
Like the Russian leg sweep with the mop and then the thumbtacks. But the nunchucks.
A fellow chucker, eh?
Thank you.
You guys prepared that.
We were waiting for that all night.
Tina Kiza in the chat roll says, "LOL, my 8-year-old son screamed out, 'That's hardcore, Mom,' when Dean poured out the text."
Wow.
That's awesome.
Trained
Watching with your
well.
8-year-old kid, and just like that must have been a cool moment.
I didn't think it would be thumbtacks. I thought it'd be like gummy bears, or I thought it'd be like Legos, like all of like PWG, Joey Ryan, Drake Younger stuff. Like, oh, they're gonna think this is in there, and then no one broke Son of Mitch. Son of
didn't
Mitch
even-
survived.
Son
They
of
left
Mitch
it
is still
hanging.
up there. Well, because I think Son of Mitch needs to keep.
Some say he's still up there to this very day.
Well, I mean, they probably tore that. They probably
I would
tore
be
that down.
worried with like picking that up and down over the stadium. Like, what if that falls on
That's
the fan?
probably not. That's not to spoil stuff, but that's probably not a ceramic plant. It's probably not a ceramic plot. Yeah, plot. I'll get
Let
there.
us have this, Steve.
Okay, it is, and everyone in the Prudential Center was unsafe tonight in Newark.
Just keep Mitch 2 and Francesca 2 away from each other. You don't want any sort of crossbreeding. It's going to
That
get
would be-
weird.
brass plants.
It would be a brass plant.
The singing bush, like in Three Amigos.
That would-
Oh my God, that is what it would be.
No, you need to get them together, and then it can. Then no way Jose can use it.
Yeah.
I think we've made some magic here tonight.
Of course.
This match. Okay, we're on the match number 7. Charlotte versus Natalia. It was a submissions match for the WWE Women's Championship. Had Ric Flair disregarded his ban from ringside, Charlotte would lose her title. I now realizing once I'm reading this, she would have not lost the match. So those of you who said no contest were actually really, really smart. Or would have been in
Loopholes, see?
but that would have been realistic because the match would have. I don't know. I'm getting really caught up in it.
Great. Now you've overthought it and you ruined it for me.
Sorry.
You ruined it, damn it. You ruined it.
I really enjoyed this match. I really enjoy these two because I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, the plan was not for Natalia last pay-per-view, let alone this pay-per-view.
Christy had, in her segment on SmackDown, believed that she covered it a few weeks back, saying that there was rumor that Natalia was going to get 2 pay-per-views.
Okay.
And that was pretty cool. I was thrilled to see that she got 2. And I hope it doesn't end. I hope they give her another shot because she's been delivering every time.
Yeah.
And it's been a really, really awesome feud. And I like them realistically elevating the women's division. It doesn't have to be crazy gimmicks. It doesn't have to be silly storylines. It's just flat out, straight up competition.
Or at the very least in the ring with the match.
Yeah, and it
'Cause-
doesn't have to be all of them in one match.
Exactly.
'cause, I mean, that go-home segment last Monday, the main event last Monday night, was all about Stephanie slapping Ric Flair, which I guess sells a match.
Sure, you got the McMahons endorsing a match. It's a big deal.
It's a big.
And Shane, you know, confronting Flair and all that. Like, second you put the McMahons in anything, it's that big endorsement of this means something huge.
All right.
And I think, like, not to jump to the end of the match,
Please.
but, like, I think Natty, now that Natty is done with Charlotte, Natty working with Dana Brooke is the best thing for Dana Brooke.
Absolutely.
Because it's, like, seasoned veteran, young up-and-comer that has so much potential to be, like, the next bad version Trish Stratus girl.
Yes.
You know, like, why not put her under your wing? And, like, that keeps Natty, like... what's the word? Like,
Not
it keeps,
relevant, but
yeah, like
on,
you know what I mean.
On TV,
Yeah, on TV and
people
happy and
working
like,
and like
youthful or
As
whatever.
a contender. as
yeah,
well.
contending.
And also, Charlotte gets her own mini Nate.
Of course.
I loved Natty's surfboard to
man,
Charlotte, and she was like standing straight up at one point. I was just like, man, like Daniel Bryan doesn't even do surfboards this good. You know, that was really cool. I loved the counter for the cross arm breaker to that power bomb, the sit down power
Yes.
bomb. That was great. And Charlotte hit a nasty big boot. She was on point tonight. She definitely deserved the win.
And that powerbomb on the arm breaker, I just watched that and I was like, why would anyone break out of an arm breaker any other way?
Yeah.
Then just pick the person up and powerbomb them
Yeah,
back
just
down.
raw strength.
Because that's like a pull-up, you guys. It's
Yeah.
really hard.
Yeah.
I'm the first to tell
Can
you
you do a moonsault? She did a beautiful moonsault. Can you do a moonsault?
If I jump from a high enough distance, I'm sure eventually I would do a moonsault maneuver.
Okay.
That's
Fair enough.
That's fair. If you give him infinity to fall,
Yeah.
he'll probably
I'll
do all the
eventually
stuff.
Turn around and then like, I got it! Put the mats down!
Charlotte goes over Natalia here because Dana Brooke comes out to Ric Flair's music.
With the wig and the robe and the boots.
I'm not a big fan of distracted finishes.
There were a couple tonight.
Yeah, this one stuck out to me where I'm like, I kind of want these two to settle it in the ring, but then again, if they were to settle it in the ring, it would be clear that Natalia would be better, and that's the story they're telling. So I'm over it, and I like that they have a spot for Dana Brooke, because they could always call Dana Brooke up, but I'm happy they have a spot for her, where she's like a mini Nate for Charlotte, and maybe Ric Flair won't be on TV over time.
Guys, she's the new David Flair. I think that's what they're trying to emphasize.
His Titantron, he just looks all disappointed. It's just Ric Flair looking disappointed at his son. That shit's so great. YouTube that if you don't know what I'm
No,
talking about.
that's a thing.
That's so awesome.
Main event.
Main event of the evening. This is match number 8. It went 22 minutes, 12 seconds. It was an Extreme Rules match for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. It was Roman Reigns versus AJ Styles. Whew. This music gets me. Like everything about AJ Styles.
Like, where in your body does it get you? The spine,
Just-
the butt, the eyelids? Where?
Just right here.
Oh, the clavicle.
The clavicle. He gets me right in the clavicle. Just everything he does in the ring, he brings those years of experience with him.
And clearly enough, he still doesn't want none.
No. He does not.
I would
You
love
think
to
he
see
might.
him at a buffet.
I don't
I
want
don't
none.
want none.
He doesn't
I
belong
don't
there.
want none.
Well, we have shrimp.
That red jello, I don't want none.
All right.
We have video games, sir. Huh? Okay.
We talked a bit about this match up top. This match was, I would argue this was the match of the night.
Really?
Yes.
Go ahead, argue it. Do it.
I just did.
I'd say the
You guys have to disprove
the
it.
a
four-way
blanket
IC
statement.
match was better. Just for me personally.
Yeah, the four-way match, everyone was a contender. Everyone had a chance of winning, and it was totally believable. And this one, I mean, the last match at Payback, I got totally sucked into. I was watching it at 4 in the morning, the main event between AJ and Roman, and I was, every false finish, like, oh, come on, let's do this. And this one was awesome, too. They just kept pulling out more and more stuff, and they bring out the best in each other. Like I said before about Reigns, it's, if you want to hate him all day long, but he puts on really great main events, and especially with AJ.
Yeah.
I think this was more, or their last match was more hard hitting, which is why I like the four-way better than this.
That's fair. But this match was also.
This
Yeah,
match was
like-
excellent. That back body drop from table to table.
Oh,
Holy cow. I had flashbacks of when AJ was in TNA doing the Ultimate X and he gets drop kicked and he hit that tuck right at the end. Ooh, I was like, oh man, I hope he tucks.
oh God, please duck.
Yeah.
Tuck, tuck, tuck.
They broke 2 tables, I feel. Yeah, they definitely broke 2 tables.
Yeah, the second one was in like some gnarly. Reigns was just like, I'll hit you with this, and now I'll hit you with this, and now I'm gonna throw you on the table.
just throw you on the. It's not a back body drop. You can see it coming. You can flip over me and then kind of control it. Like none of that. Just throwing you onto the table. You're
Yeah,
gonna
he
go
like
through it.
caught him in a Rana on the outside, smacked him right into the like LED screen that's
man.
on the side of the ring,
And it made a
smacked him into the
nasty noise.
barricade, and then he was like, "Yeah, I'll just leave you." Oh, you broke that table, and it was like the delayed break. It
That's
was
nice.
like,
Yeah, through it, and then the frame still stayed.
Well, because the thing about those tables is I think those tables breaking is never a guarantee.
yeah,
Because we've seen plenty of times where that table doesn't break and they just keep moving onwards. Like, that still hurt.
Imagine if it was like, no, there's a pin. Like, you gotta pull the pin out and everything collapse. Like that'd be crazy.
Byron, grab the pin. Oh, sorry.
Cole, you forgot to get the pin.
Mago! Mago with the lack of the pin! I always felt like there's something in the table that there's a piece of something in the table that they take out that makes it more malleable to breaking.
They remove all the Mountain Dews.
That's usually
It was easier when Lawler was there because he drank them all in time, but now he's not there, and the guys are like, I don't want
3 Mountain Dews. They gotta
They
get
just
rid of.
have
too much
water.
Mountain Dew. I
They just
gotta
have
pee.
water in their Mountain Dew bottle.
Dangerous.
Dangerous. This match was so good. We get the standard club run in first, then the Uso brothers, and I liked the
Bloodline.
the sportsmanship that the club comes in, does the boot of doom, puts Styles on top of Reigns. 1, 2, no. Then Jimmy and Jey Uso come out. Where in my mind they're sitting back there and they're watching and they're like, I mean, if he gets the pin, he gets the pin. Like we can't.
If he dies, he dies.
Like, where it's like, oh no, it's a 2. We need to go out there and save our boy.
Maybe they were checking their face paint.
That is
Or
also
making sure they had the right tassels in their thing. Wait, did they say Usos or Bloodline? They say Bloodline? Okay, we're good.
All right,
And
cool.
then, wait, which one are you?
Okay. Jimmy?
Oh, no, wait,
I'm Jimmy.
Oh, wait, where's your ID? Oh, okay, yeah, you were. And then they go out.
But this was a great match. It was an extension of the great match that we got last month, and lays a bit of groundwork for us to move forward with the championship with the new added element of Seth Rollins.
Oh my God.
Before we get there, my buddy Perry, we're watching this, and Reigns hits that awesome, like, high razor's edge sit down power bomb, and we're like, that was cool. A new move to add to his repertoire. And my buddy Perry's like, yeah, but someone already kicked out of it, so now like no one's ever gonna get beat by it. And I was just like, well, shit, I guess you're right.
Well, no, he gets another move for somebody to kick out of.
That's right.
In this product, that's kind of what you need.
They gave
No,
him
but I
his
like-
version of the Blue Thunder Bomb.
Exactly.
Yeah, but I like how like AJ can hit you with the Styles Clash, the forearm, or the calf crusher, and you don't know any of them could be a victory. You know what I mean?
I mean, I
He's
think
won with all of them.
I think after tonight, we're kind of sure the Styles Clash is like the code breaker. Am I alone on that? I feel
I
like
don't know what you're saying.
or
The Codebreaker beats people.
Yeah.
not the code breaker doesn't beat people as much as the Lion Salt or the Walls of
Lion
Jericho
Salt?
beats people.
When was the Lion Salt beaten? Anyway? He lands on his feet for the past 11 years for the Lion Salt. The man just is just doing a flip for flip's sake.
Ask Fandango about that.
Ask him.
yeah,
He'll pick
like-
up the phone.
But I do feel like they're going out of their way to establish the calf crusher or the forearm as the finish, and then the Styles Clash is more of a signature. And I might be wrong. They might be listening to me right now. I'm like, send Styles out tomorrow and have him beat somebody with the Styles Clash.
I think that's a
So,
better
you
move
know,
to beat someone with
I
because
agree.
it usually rolls right into a pin.
He beat Curtis Axel with it on SmackDown.
Was that last week?
No, it was a while back, but I mean, they established in the beginning that he has multiple finishing maneuvers that will get him a victory. So I think it's there. So it's when he does it, people believe that he will win with it.
Agreed. He got me twice tonight.
There you go. He got you.
But I think, I don't know. All I'm saying is they might be trying to devalue that move in particular.
Oh sure, that's what they're like. Let's ruin this.
I didn't say,
Let's devalue his move.
yes.
And Triple H is like, I know. Let's upvalue a move. The pedigree.
Oh,
Yeah. So by giving it to another person who needs a move, that man is Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins comes out after Roman Reigns eventually wins this match, after all the shenanigans, flips Roman Reigns around. Pedigree.
Place erupted.
So beautiful.
Place erupted.
Yeah.
You think louder than when he cashed in at WrestleMania?
Almost.
Almost. Like, I think there are more people on his side this time.
Oh yeah.
Because that time it was more of a, cool, it's not going to be Roman. Whereas this time it's like, I think everyone's on board with Seth Rollins.
What do you think of his new gear?
I dug his new gear. I think he took the Power Ranger stuff to heart a little
Okay,
when redesigning his gear.
Are you gonna buy that action figure?
of course.
That
Why wouldn't I?
Did you even?
wondering.
Is that even a question?
I'm
to ask?
hoping they
Just
make the
wondering.
white WrestleMania getup.
Oh yeah, that's got to
outfit.
be elite,
Half-
right?
Does it,
Yeah,
does it
exactly.
come with the
An
sword?
exclusive.
Does it come with the sword that has a tiger on the end that talks to you? Sabe, I believe is the name of the tiger. Nope, can't do that. All right.
I know what you're talking about.
Or did the New Day? Maybe the New Day. Maybe the New Day one come. The New Day WrestleMania figure comes out with
I'm sure, yes.
the sword
Power Rangers.
with the tiger that talks to you.
No, they were Dragon Ball Z. You made me drop my pen. I'm so upset.
With Seth, though, I've been saying it for months ever since he went out with injury. I think he's going to be the most popular face in the company.
Yes.
That it's that thing where, like what happened with Triple H, what was that 2000,
The quad,
2001?
yeah, his first quad.
Where he went down and was injured and he was the top heel, but then everyone's seeing the perseverance of him wanting to get back, coming back as soon as he could, and then seeing him that respect and admiration for a guy that they may have hated, but now they go, he loves this. He absolutely loves this, and I think he's going to get nothing but love.
Yeah.
And I love the story that they're telling with his new gear, which is redesign, rebuild, reclaim.
Yeah, they
Awesome
even took the
story.
blonde streak out of his hair.
Yeah.
Yep.
And his new symbol is like his initials, but it's got a target instead of just being like a
The S
awesome
and the R,
logo.
like
yeah.
the
Yeah.
belt
So it's got a
buckle.
crosshair over it. It's really cool.
Yeah,
I like it.
I think we'll all be purchasing that shirt at some point. I also like this a lot. I think I think it's what people have been saying about Roman Reigns is that for us to love you, we have to hate you first.
Mm-hmm.
And we've hated Seth Rollins for a long enough time that we're ready to just love him.
Is that why my relationships don't work?
Yes, they have to hate you first.
Oh, well, that happens all the time.
You
Well,
need to
but then-
revisit them now,
Oh, all right. I got to call Fandango. Hold on.
like for a movie.
Yeah, just to talk. Just talk
Not
shop.
his romantic relationships, just his like business relationships.
Yeah, just get advice.
They just have to love you. You just have to hate you to love you. So
You gotta be like a peacock, man. You just gotta fly.
So I think that about wraps us up.
I think that wraps us up.
We talked about everything.
Sorry for the
I
late
think-
show, guys.
So sorry for that.
Do you
Blame.
want to talk anything about Money in the Bank?
I'll be there.
I'll be there.
I might be there.
So Christy Olsen and George Hermosa will likely be
Someone's
here.
got to work the after show. I guess I'll be here.
Yes.
My predictions. Your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
See, you got to wait because I was going to put the thing, and then you started talking.
Your AfterBuzz
There we go.
TV predictions.
Sounded pretty
Bam.
good, right?
Pretty good.
I'd say Zayn, Cesaro, Owens, Kalisto,
Corporate Kane.
Baron Corbin. How many are in Money in the Bank? 7?
Baron
Up,
Corporate
up
Kane.
to 8.
Up to 8?
That'd be
Historically,
amazing.
it's been up to 8. It's usually 7.
Those 5. Maybe a Ziggler or a Ryder.
Alberto? Alberto Del Rio.
Oh.
Del Rio would.
I don't know, dude.
Sheamus?
He got pictures of him taken at PWG this weekend, so he might be
Well,
in
him and
the-
Paige.
Yeah, he might be in the doghouse. They might be like, "What the
Perhaps.
hell are you doing there?"
Watching more wrestling.
It's
Like, what's
his
the
life.
problem?
What are your?
My predictions for Money in the Bank? Boy, I
Definitely Rollins versus Reigns for the title.
Yes,
yeah,
that is definitely it.
I could see AJ going in the Money in the Bank match. Put
Ooh.
him in there.
I like it.
I like it.
And Mrs. Dad, I throw him in there too.
Mrs. Dad.
It's his time.
I think we're about due for Mrs. Dad. I think I wrote this morning before I knew obviously the outcome of tonight. But Apollo Crews, Baron Corbin, Big Cass, Dolph Ziggler, Kalisto, Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn. Then I wrote Ty Dillinger because there'd be an NXT Money in the Bank qualifier on June 8th, which would be Ty Dillinger, Tommaso Ciampa, No Way Jose, Elias Sampson, Ciampa, sorry, Mojo Rawley, Johnny Gargano. I spent 10 minutes looking at all the rosters and just kind of moved some stuff
I
around.
would love to see Ty Dillinger called up, but I hope they have a spot for him because he's too good to get called up and just put on the back burner and then forgot about again.
Yeah,
and
he's
then
a
drop
perfect
back
10.
Yeah, but at the same
to
time,
NXT or fired. or
but at the same
released
time,
or-
he could win the NXT Money in the Bank qualifier, which only gives you a spot in the Money in the Bank match. and he doesn't. That's not a call.
Is that a spoiler, Steve?
No, I just made that up right now. That's
Okay,
not-
because
that's
if
not
that's
on anything.
if that's a taping spoiler, you'd have a lot of people upset with you, including myself.
You're right. I didn't even look at tape. Like I genuinely didn't even look at tape. I forgot that they tape because
Bless.
that's a show I just watch.
Well,
So that's probably not a thing that's happening.
we have Apollo Crews, and we've hardly done anything with that guy. We don't need to be calling up even more.
Agreed.
People. We've got all these wonderful toys to play with. Stop buying more toys, man.
I buy them and then I leave them in the package, and when I'm bummed, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna open this one and play with it now.
Regular Vince McMahon over here. This guy.
I do think Apollo Crews in the Money in the Bank ladder match. I
Please
think.
play with your Stardust toy. Appreciate
Dude,
it.
I have a Stardust toy still in the package. Sadly,
Should get
I
him
might
to
go
sign
buy
it.
the Elite now.
I
think
got
you
that
should
one.
buy that
Do
one.
you?
It's a good one.
It's a good one.
Are we gonna have a toy talk show?
I would love to. I want to call it Go Figure.
Keep it to yourself.
Copyrighted, quick.
Really quickly, if I had any prediction, I've been saying it for months. There's going to be a women's championship Money in the Bank ladder match, and Sasha Banks is going to win. Thank you.
Love that.
That's pretty rad.
That's pretty rad. That's a good prediction.
I brought that up
I
on
think
a past after show.
perfect. I think we're
Great minds.
Yeah, and beards. Great beards.
so.
All of us.
This is a bearded panel right
Yeah.
here. If people wanted to talk to you about your beard, James,
If you want to talk to me about my beard, more importantly, if you want to buy my documentary that I made on the Young Bucks, it has WWE stars like AJ Styles, who was in the main event tonight, Booker T, who was on the panel, and Kevin Owens, who was in the IC title match and did a phenomenal job. You could buy it at highspots.com. It's called The Young Bucks 2 Sweet Journey. If you want to follow me on Twitter and talk about this documentary, follow me on Twitter at The Jimbo Slice. That's TheeJimboslice. That's at The Jimbo Slice. With 2 E's, that's at The Jimbo Slice. Scott Narver, did you enjoy PWG this weekend?
Oh my God, I did. It's my first PWG show.
It was excellent.
This man right here got me a prime seat.
Yeah.
VIP seating.
VIP seating.
Yeah, I got no blood or spit on me at all. Thank you very much. I
You
appreciate
didn't have
it.
to keep getting up out of your seat. It was excellent.
No, very lazy person, so it was great. Like this after show. Like, I don't like to get up and move out of the way for other wrestlers to come in.
Yeah, or pull-ups.
So you can follow me on Twitter at Curtain Jerks. You can listen to my comedy wrestling podcast, Curtain Jerks, available on iTunes and SoundCloud. And On Your Mark is back with new episodes each Monday. Marky Extreme invaded WrestleCon. Also, Skeeter Skyflyer was there. Good looking guy. I don't have anything to do with him. But invaded WrestleCon this past week was Billy Gunn. Tomorrow morning we'll drop Victoria. So that is quite the episode. It gets a little randy.
well, I've heard she's gotten a little randy.
She's in this documentary also.
Is she? Oh.
Oh, get a dose of Victoria. Double dose.
And you guys can find me on Twitter at Steve Kaufmann. That is KAUFMANN. I will be back here tomorrow to cover the Gotham finale. So stick with me for that. And I tweet about stuff all the time. Thank you so much.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.